And we should not be interested.
You should not be. Hello. Yeah, someone started saying something and stopped.
Nirmala ji, that was it.
Helappa, Nirmala ji.
We will do our job and forget about the results, and we will be detached.
Okay.
At the same time, that doesn't mean that you become inactive and you say, oh, anyways, I don't know what the result is going to be, so why should I work?
Okay.
That should not be your attitude.
Okay.
You should do your work as best as possible, and the rest leave it to God.
Okay.
Because God will decide on the basis of many factors what result you should get. The environment, the weather, your purva punya, purva papa. So many factors are there. On the basis of all that, He will decide what to give you and what not to give you. So leave it to Him to do the job. But do your job very sincerely as a karma yogi, detached from the results.
All right. Good. Anything else anyone wants to add there, or shall we go to this next one? So it's more about karma yoga. So after giving Krishna first gives Arjuna the lowdown on his real nature, which is you're not the body, mind, intellect, you are the Atma. And then he goes on to tell him about the, on the Laukika angle. If you don't fight, then you will be called a coward, you better do it and all that he states. And now he coming to the karma angle. So this is the most critical and fantastic part of the Gita. So this is the next one. Will please somebody chant? Vinaya, will you chant? You've been very quiet.
Can I add another thing?
Yes, Anu, tell me. Yeah.
Predominantly, we've been listening to this particular verses.
Correct.
And every time we always have the doership, I did this. And when we take the pride or we take the ownership of getting that result, and Nirmala ji and what everyone must have shared about this, get detached from the result or the outcome.
Correct.
And just be an instrument, the way it has to be done. I'm just an instrument for the God or something. That's what my interpretation would be.
Correct. Very correct. Nimittam matram bhava. That comes later, but this is exactly what he's saying. Just be an instrument, my instrument. Very correct.
Yeah. And we also feel if I'm not expecting a result, then why should I do it? As Nirmala auntie said, we still have to do it as a part of our duty. Correct. And then not expect the result. And people have a tendency, if I don't get that, why should I do? We always that if I do something, I need to have some benefit out of it.
Very correct. Yeah. Correct. Right.
That was my thought process.
Correct. All these points are more, spelled out in these verses, whatever you said, Anu, right now. So, yeah, perfectly said. So, next one, yoga. Yeah, tell. Yes, carry on.
Kuru karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate.
Yes. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga muchyate. So this
Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga muchyate.
Anyone else? Be steadfast in the performance of your duty, O Arjuna, abandoning attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So the same sentiments, but the key thing here is samatvam yoga muchyate. throughout the Bhagavad Gita, we get a lot of definitions of what yoga is. And in this one, the critical takeaway is samatvam. Samatvam, which is equanimity, where in equanimity in siddhya siddhayo, whether in success and failure. That's all. So just kuru karmani, yogastaha kuru karmani. Be steadfast in yoga and do your same things which we said in the earlier shloka. Unless someone wants to add something more. Samatvam yogam uchyate. Sangam tyaktva. Yeah, this is also a very critical word. Sangam means attachment. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Yeah, everything is critical. All these. Shall we go to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, one more. So anybody can chant this. So that we'll come to our Sthita Prajna next. Fast.
Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yogat dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvichya kripanaha phalhetavaha.
Superb. This is so beautiful. Seek refuge in the divine knowledge and insight, O Arjuna, and discard reward-seeking actions that are certainly inferior to works performed with the intellect established in divine knowledge. Miserly are those who seek the fruits of their works. Anu, this is what it is said. Kripanaha phalahetavaha. Ones who work only for the sake of results, they're actually called misers. Why, Anu?
That because they're expecting always something and they're very
Yeah, because they are not doing the duty for the sake of duty. That is why.
I will tell you one good example of a.
Yep.
Always a child. Only if you give me chocolate, I will do the job.
Yeah, that's the
If
way
you
of
don't
the
give
world.
me chocolate, I will not do.
Yeah.
I think we will understand this better. That's why I'm telling you.
You're right. You're right.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, right. But that doesn't mean we should not have the end goal in sight, isn't it?
No, if my mother gives me chocolate also, okay. If my mother doesn't give me chocolate also, okay. That attitude the children don't have. First give me the chocolate, then only I'll start doing the work.
Yeah. Right. That's the corporate culture. What's in it for me? What's the pay package? Let the T and C's all have to be spelled out. Only then I shall work. Which is fine. We have to do that in the Laukika world. But the underlying thing is, I'll do my duty. Or at least what's on my table, I will finish that at least. Even though I'm taking a salary and I'm expected to do it, I should not cheat on that at least.
Here he is emphasizing on karma yoga.
Karma yoga.
Do the thing as a yogi without any result. As Anu, gave importance to it.
Yeah.
You do it as a duty without expecting any results.
Ashte.
But the best example was a doctor and the instrument I told you.
Tell us again.
Did
I don't know if you did.
I tell you?
No, carry on.
The major neurosurgeon has opened up the head and he has performed the operation. And there you see the knives, the scissors, the needles, all the instruments are dancing. Yay, we did it. How very strange it looks. Was it them who did it? It was a doctor's brain.
All right.
Like that, it is the God who is really doing it. We are just his instruments. The instruments doesn't have any right to dance around because it has been used by God.
Yes.
It doesn't have really any power.
Yep.
By itself.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Very well said.
I think in this particular shloka, Purnima, It's like there are two aspects to work actually. So the external activity that we do is one aspect. And the next aspect is the internal attitude that we have it towards that particular activity.
Okay.
So for example, let us take an example of a temple that has been built, and there are two workers who are working, in building the temple. So one is working exclusively for wages because I am doing this, I am getting my salary, whatever it is, wages. And the other one is saying, I am doing this as a service to my God. Whatever wages I am getting it, but I am happy with it. I am working for a higher cause as a service to God. Whatever I am doing, this is a God's service. So the work is the same. For an external person who is looking at it, the two people are doing the same thing. But the one who is working as a service to God, he will, do his level best to do the work because it's a service. The other one, if somebody else is giving an extra money, he may leave the job and go to the other one because for him it's just a work.
Yes.
So both are actually poles apart. Both of them, the workers.
Yeah.
So it says that we should be like the worker who has worked with an internal attitude as a service to God.
Yeah.
So Sri Krishna advises Arjun here to move to a higher, aspect in his internal motivation towards work.
Perfectly.
And those who work with that motivation of those who work with motivation of self-enjoyment are miserly, self-enjoyment. And those who are detached from these fruits and that dedicate their work to a higher cause are superior. And those who offer the fruits to God are truly in knowledge.
Yes.
Anything you do it with passion, with interest, and with love, always comes out very nicely. You just see a person, a mother who cooks with so much interest. That food is comparatively different from the food a mother, I have to cook. I'm not interested really, but it's my duty. Okay, let me do it. Compare the food of them, both. You will realize, oh my God, what a difference. Not only in food, for everything you do. We are attending this class. We are attending it with a lot of passion, interest, love. So what our takeaway is awesome.
Correct. Yeah. So when we are doing that with passion and with involvement, you don't even have to try and bring in those qualities. It's automatically there in the work that we do. You don't have to think I'm doing it for God. I don't have to think I'm doing it as a duty. I don't think I'm doing karma yoga. Nothing. Just be spontaneous, and it turns by itself into karma yoga.
It's a flow. It's a flow. Look at a painter. How involved he is. He is unaware of the world.
Yeah, true. But yeah, tell me, Anna.
Sorry. Go ahead. You finish it. Then
I just want to say, see, when like Nirmala said, when the painter is painting or the singer is singing, he or she is completely engaged in the work. That is karma yoga. But when it becomes a roga,
you don't like it, and you don't like it, and you are pushing yourself to do it or something.
No. When after the work is done, you claim, oh, I sang so well. Oh, my painting is selling for some 10 million, whatever. Then when you claim ownership of the act, then it turns into the yoga also will become roga. So when we are doing something, the activity, actually the I is not there. The ego is not present. The work is happening. But the moment it comes back, then all the effort is, that is why all this has to go into our heads. This is for the after effects of the work that we need to all this teaching, right? We need to be really careful about not claiming ownership and doership over whatever we had done. That's also very important. Not just while working, later also. No?
That is where the crux lies.
That is the critical part. The critical part. And there's one more example, of three sculptors. Same thing what Padmaja said. Of the, they're sculpting idol out of it. And one fellow is very irritated with the work. The second fellow also said, oh, I have come here just to earn a living. The third fellow, he is happy. Oh, I'm creating God out of this stone. And his work is so much more joyful and more effective and more beautiful. That's the thing. What am I sculpting out of this work? So every little work, I'm sculpting yoga. I'm in yoga. That's the only attitude.
Okay,
If you do with that, sorry, go ahead.
Once when one individual evolves to that higher levels of consciousness, they naturally shed the desire of enjoying the fruits of work, and they move in the direction of service only. For them, it is not the fruits are not now no longer important. They just say it's a service to God. It's a service that I'm doing. That's all.
And the kind of work also doesn't matter. Menial work, high work, intellectual work, that also will stop mattering.
If you elevate yourself to that, it is God who acts through you. So it is perfection.
Karmasu kaushalam. That's the
Yes.
next one, no? Yogaha karmasu kaushalam.
I would like to share my recent experience, which in which I can really apply this particular point. So I'm also a student of music, apart from being a teacher of the basic level. So when I'm learning a kriti, and when I'm only focused on the way the output is, how my teacher is listening to it, how it's coming out of my mouth as my teacher sees it, in the sense, is my shruti right, is the talam right, are the sangatis good enough? So when my focus is just on that, then the outcome is not great. But when I'm singing the same thing with involving in myself in the message of the song, in the way that it has been composed, then the outcome is very different. So every time my teacher has to remind me of that I have to be more involved, in chanting the name of Rama, in singing the name of Rama, for example, if it's a kriti on Rama. So that's my recent experience.
See, so have you been able to implement that?
Yes, very rarely though. I'm trying my best. I find it so difficult, and especially that I'm preparing for an exam. I'm so stressed about the exam. I think just in the last Saturday, I was mentioning that how we should train our kids not to be just focused on the results of the exam, the marks of the exam, but that they are getting to learn something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so difficult to apply that on myself. I'm trying my best though.
No, see, without a little stress, you can't get anything done. Okay, that is fine.
Yeah.
You have to have some stress, otherwise, you will not even move in any direction. So
That is the
But as long as you know in the background that it's fine, it's perfectly all right. Nobody's holding a gun to my head. Even if I fail, even if I don't perform as well as I'm supposed to in my own head, it's perfectly all right.
Yes.
As long as that background is there, and then you should take all the stress and prepare with all your mind. Please do go ahead and do that.
That is the reason when they teach music, they teach the meaning of the song first.
Correct.
Yes.
So immediately what happens? You are more involved in that bhava, and all this will fall in place.
True.
That's why this Brahma Jnana is being given first. You first know what it is, and then you start working. Know that you are Krishna, and then you start working. See, from my point of view, you start working how it will be, how I run the universe. Everything is, perfectly happening like that. Just imagine from that point of view. No, that is why the Brahma Jnana first. Yoga Shastra is next. How to apply the Brahma Jnana is given later. Brahma Jnana and then Yoga Shastra. First the knowledge, first the Artha, the Bhavartha, and then the song, the Gita. So beautiful. Really. Thank you, Sneha. It was a lovely point. Anything else? Anu was saying something.
Yes, I will, Patrikaji, you spoke about the construction, like the workers take the pride, they just work for the salary because for them that's the priority. They just work and they take the money, and the person who has constructed whatever they've constructed, they have the ego also that have done this and this is me who is doing and everything, that's when, that they see the result of that building or whatever the construction they've done. That's when they'll feel, okay, this is my effort. And when you posted self-actualization and self-realization, that also stuck me over when you guys were all talking. Self-actualization, again, it comes over a period of time we get that satisfaction. Yes, I am doing as my duty, I'm doing as my karma, I'm not actually looking for the fruit, I'm just doing it, and they don't expect anything. That's where I can feel that self-actualization can be applied here. Not really expecting the fruit or
No, we are heading for self-realization. I have sent a clip, see, a write-up by Sadhguru, that is Prabhuji. The difference between the self-actualization and self-realization. We are on the path of realization. We are in being. We are not becoming. No. Becoming is something we have to look forward, you have to work forward, you have to go. But what we are doing is, we are already the Supreme Being.
Yes.
From there, where we come to is, because we are that,
we are realizing.
We are that.
I'm talking from the worker's point of view. When they reach self-actualization, they will move on to self-realization. When they are no more attached to the fruit or the construction or the money. They're just doing as their passion to construction or something. That's where I was thinking in my...
I correct. I agree with you. Another thing is, all the great temples which have been built in South India, especially on many North India, in India in general, you see all of them who work were experts in that.
True.
That's why this came out. That's how, this came out. The beautiful thing has come out all like this because they were experts at work without expecting anything.
Skilled. They were skilled people.
Not only skilled, they were totally, they gave the whole life to that.
Yes, they did just that one thing. They were like, because they used to take ages to go about it.
And the king took care of his other needs completely.
Correct. That's what Krishna also said.
Just recently I saw there are moving parts in temples. In the mouth of a lion, there is a stone moving. There is a pillar, middle part is moving. All that is done because he is totally involved in that. That is why, if kadanakku, kooliki, that is for the salary you get, for duty you do, this perfection you cannot expect.
Yes, that motivation is not enough. That salary is not enough for doing such beautiful work. True. I was just reading about a few months ago about a worker in a supermarket, a mall, in a thing. And his job is a back end. He's in the thing and he's sorting out vegetables. And his particular vegetable is a cabbage. And day in and day out, he's sorting cabbages, nothing else. So he was interviewed and he was asked, how don't you get bored with this work? Every day, cabbage, look at the cabbage, pass it or trash it, pass it or trash it, sort it, good one, bad one, medium one, and all that. How do you do it? So that man said, he's just a lowly worker in that huge supermarket. I'm sure there are CEOs and people who are doing things. And he says, every cabbage has its own pattern. And I look at them and I marvel at it every time. How God has made this one cabbage a little different from the other one. So this is the kind of, he was a karma yogi, that's all. So like that, at our own levels, whatever we are doing, sorting cabbages, chopping, whatever it is, We can do that.
In the modern days, the children look at us and say,
okay,
"Mama, are you not getting bored? Cooking.
I do get bored. I'm sorry, I have to confess, but yeah.
Well,
See, also, yeah.
My love is passion for cooking. So I have a passion.
That's the key. No, you have to find something which charges you. Then it will become yoga. Otherwise, whatever you're doing, you turn it into yoga. That is,
You're now editing Bhagavadgita transcribed. You're doing it with a gusto. You think
that's
we will
my
not be able
passion,
to
because it's my passion.
See?
It's my passion. When I'm cooking also, I'm thinking of this only.
See?
I don't know what category that falls into, which yoga, but it is there. What to do?
No, that is karma yoga, no? Anything if you're passionate about, finished. Full 100 marks.
Correct. But it's what I'm trying to say is, for all the work that you do through the day, it's difficult to bring that. For some, you feel a little more passion. Otherwise, you have to make an effort. That is why we need to listen to all this, and it's getting better though. That I don't mind doing stuff that I don't want to do. I don't know. You all share how you feel about that mundane things that we do through the day. Do you have the same passion or what?
No.
So
Okay, fine. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I have like about 50 students to teach the basic Carnatic music, basic levels. That is, the Sarle verses and Janti verses and all that. So I have to meet them the entire week, 50 of them, and I have to teach them the same thing. So I've seen, my immediate folks around me, they keep asking me, don't you get bored? You've been teaching the same thing over and over again. My parents and all that, they keep asking. But in reality, I really don't get bored. I'm looking forward to meeting each of my students, because each of them is so different. I get 50 variety.
They're different cabbages.
Yeah, and for me to analyze them, for me to get the best out of them, I have that much variety.
Correct.
So I feel I'm blessed and fortunate.
Correct.
Yeah,
exactly. Do you feel the same with all the other jobs that your chores? I would call them chores.
No,
I won't like it, but that's what it is.
No, but I have learned to start liking them. At least I mean, especially after the Bhagavad Gita classes started, I'm making an effort in that direction.
Yeah, I want to ask the others also to pitch in and share how it feels, to be doing something which you don't want to do, basically. Anu.
The vegetables, the food, everything speak to me. The vegetables say, hey, look out on me. I'm getting spoiled.
So nice.
Cook me first. I come first. That fellow is fresh still. Please don't go there. Please come to me. I have to be cooked first.
You are very imaginative and creative, Nirmala. Really, so nice. What? Anu wants to say something?
Yes, I can speak for it, because passion, yes, I do agree. And at the same time, we need to take self-initiative some certain times, like day-to-day chores. Even we don't like, we need to have one thing is passion. And the more we get involved in it, we might started liking different ways of doing things, the same work.
Right.
Becoming more creative, because being in my job is more into human resource, and I train a lot of people. Sometimes my training becomes so, I'll have the document in front of me, but as I'm talking to the managers and everyone, the training gets organic and more. And every time, like how Sneha said about the music class, it can be same subject, but never the same for me, depending on the conversation. And I'll never get bored. I always tell all my teammates, our job is something, it's, every day it's a challenge. Every day because we have passion for it, every day it's a challenge. Similarly, spiritual, let me tell you, I have that liking or seeking, so I feel passionate towards it, and every time there's something new I'm learning. That's what I can say.
Wonderful. Kamala, you have been very quiet. Do you do everything with that kind of interest? All the jobs that you do through the day, are they very interesting to you?
Certain things will be really interesting. Certain things, no, sometimes it will be frustrating as well. When we say something to the when from work side, we will be telling the same thing to a person to complete and give, and if it is not happening time and again, I have to tell the same thing. If it is not happening, then I will be responsible, right? So that time it will be frustrating. Otherwise, it is very nice. And regarding at home also, regarding with respect to spiritual side and all, for some, I'm preparing something for Sanvi. She will come out with different kind of doubts. We will not expect such doubts at all. So I will Google it and search and find out that solution. So that and all is really, I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah.
For she is the starting point for my spiritual journey only, I feel. Wow. Because of her doubts only, I started involving in all these things.
So beautiful.
Exactly. Exactly. See what happened. I was uneducated compared to everybody in this world when I got married. As a child, whenever I used to ask my mother questions, why not? Why should I do it? I don't want to do it. All that. She said, no, you're not supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to do. That's all. Not good. You should not ask such questions. So then slowly I got my one by one 3 children, and they started questioning me left, right, and center, exactly like how I did my mother to my mother. And I didn't have any answers. Nothing I had. I didn't know how to. That's when I educated myself on Ramayana, Mahabharata. I learned everything. I learned all the question answer sessions from many, many places. So that whenever they used to ask questions, I had an answer.
Yeah.
So one small example I'll tell you. I used to separately go and tell my children, each one of them, I love you the best, you are the sweetest. It is really truth. I really love them very much, each one of them. But what they have done, they have all discussed between each other, all 3 of them. One day, all of them came in front of me and said, really, whom do you like the best? You have been lying to all 3 of us. Now, you have to answer this question. Now, I knew I have been cornered. So I said, see, I really love each one of you very much. It is, I will ask you one question. You answer me, then I will tell you what is my answer. So, Giridhar, you are my right eye. Shiva, you are my left eye. So, see, I told you, our mother likes you both best. He doesn't love me at all, says my daughter. I said, you are my third eye. Shiva, how can you speak like this? And that day I escaped. It is difficult with these children.
Yeah.
My mom used to give the same example: 2 brothers, 1 daughter, and she would call both the brothers' eyes and me nostril. She'll say, okay, without you, I can't even breathe, right? So
how sweet.
Oh, super.
I can relate to that now when you're saying you just made third eye, but my mom made it nostril.
I'm a Lord Shiva
devotee. Moms are creative. Yeah. Because they love children, and that's why their motherhood is so beautiful. That's right. We should love the work that we have been given or doing. So quickly, I want to ask Vinaya and Ramamani and also Deepa and Padmaja. You haven't shared. Do you always love the work that you do through the day?
No, Ma. I don't.
Oh, Vinaya?
I only love learning Sanskrit and practice the music.
Oh. But how you can't
Cooking,
do that through the
some
day?
days I enjoy, but some days I don't.
Okay.
Daily doing the same thing, I get bored.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think, oh no, this is not the correct attitude. When you cook, we have it's been told that we should chant mantra and do cooking, then that will give positive energy to the family members. When I think that, okay, sometimes this won't come into my mind. So that time, oh no,
finish the
today
work
also
and
the
move on
same.
to something else. See, they're all the regular daily challenges that we face. So how do we convert these? That's the point, no? No, how much ever during the Bhagavadgita class, yes, I'm fine. I'm full of karma yoga. That when I go out into the field, what do I do?
No, slowly we have to incorporate.
Constantly remind ourselves that this,
reminders, yes.
you know,
Manana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Yep.
We have to be mindful of what we are doing,
Yes.
so that slowly we incorporate all that we are learning.
Also, I feel with these mundane jobs, the household chores, I mean, for example, if we challenge ourselves to be more efficient at it on a daily basis, it becomes more interesting.
You're right.
If we make it time bound, say I'm doing something, I'm taking about 10 minutes to do a particular task. If I challenge myself to do it in 8 minutes the next day, it becomes interesting. For me, the most mundane and the most difficult thing to do is to wind up the kitchen in the night. So what I do a few days is I ask my daughter to switch on the timer. And I tell her after 20 minutes, so that, I feel she's also involved in it.
Very good. Very smart.
And then many times I cross the 20 minutes. Then she says, don't worry, I'll give you an extra 5 minutes. It really becomes so interesting, and I'm so much more sharper that day in my brain.
Very nice. Very nice. Smart. Yeah, please share such tips, all of you.
Another little thing I would like to say, my mother Ramamani, she's also on this group. I don't know why she's not talking today. Whenever I see her, from my childhood, I've been seeing her, and even now, whenever I visit her, I see that she's doing all the mundane jobs without a bit of complaining.
Yes.
I don't know how she does that.
Yes.
And she's ever ready to take on more and more and more and more. And same thing with many of the people of her generation that I see. They're just doing things without complaining, and they are so passionate about everything that they do.
Very true.
Like my mother-in-law is so passionate about cooking, and what comes out so well.
Same with my mom. She's 85.
Yes.
She goes about. She has to do the last bit of uppu kara. She only puts, even today, to this day. Pisses me off no end, but she does it. And I don't know, it's her passion, and I know that's how they are. They love the work that they do, and they don't complain. They just take it on. Yes, they're made of a different material like this. That's it.
Yes.
They are being trained very well by their mother-in-law.
No training. They just learned by themselves. They just observed, they learned, they just go with the flow.
Don't complain and do the job.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, tell us, Rama.
I was just moving in the scooter, listening to all your conversations.
How nice.
Yeah, we have come to the MNK part. That's why I could not talk. Regarding this work culture, I used to work in the bank, When I sit and work and I'm totally engrossed in the work, that happened, and later it became a passion for me.
Okay.
Even after leaving the job, I used to concentrate on what I was doing like that. So one has to, according to me, one has to cultivate the habit of involving ourselves in the work.
Correct.
So that we get automatically, we become passionate.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to just do it. Yeah, whatever is on my plate, I do it.
Yeah. Whatever we do, we should do it with full concentration and liking.
Developing a liking, that's the challenge.
Yes. That's a big challenge. Yeah.
There is another way to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Concentrate on your breathing
Mm.
and then do your job.
Yeah.
You will be surprised how efficiently you can function.
But the mundane jobs, it's easier not to concentrate on the job, but just put something and listen to something that you like and then do it. Mechanical work is easily done. You don't have to really give so much of attention to what you're doing. So like washing dishes, even mechanically you do it gets done. So that is my trick. How this one Sneha had set a challenge for herself. So I always something or other, it's in my ears, and so that work gets done because I'm doing double things. I'm also listening. Shravana is also happening. Some mechanical work is also happening. So that's how I get through the mundane chores. Yes, Megha, Deepa, you haven't said anything. Say something, and Padmaja also, and then we can move.
Ma'am, while doing dishwashing, I will be doing my riyas, music riyas.
That's
So that helps me.
Actually, the mechanical work gives you time for all this, Actually, I have discovered, isn't it? The whatever, the dishwashing or cleaning or dusting and all that. That's the time when you can really have some time for all this. Make time for this also in the middle. Yeah.
Because
Tell me.
when you're doing something like that, which you do day in and day out, like dishes, houses, that time you don't require too much of brain to use your hands.
Correct.
You're listening to something, your concentration is on the whatever you're listening. You're involved one way there mentally.
Yeah.
But hands are doing the activities.
Yeah, like when you're driving on a highway, you don't need to concentrate on the gears or the whatever, and you just drive it, listening to something, talking to your partner. So it's easy, right? It makes it more joyful, pleasurable. That's how.
Actually, I would like my point here. I agree with what you say that you have to. I mean, it's all mechanical and all that. But I feel every task, one can work towards perfection of that task. Time wise, and the way it is done. So if you're washing dishes, you can work. We can work towards washing them fast and doing a great job of it. I don't know. I feel it's a constant learning experience. Every day we learn. We get to learn, and when to do what. See, that's also one of the challenges with these the so-called mundane tasks, household chores. Right? What to do first? What's priority? I think that's always going on,
and they pile up.
Yes, and the common thing with all these the elderly women who are doing everything with passion, right? I feel it's the wisdom that they've gained like this.
Yes.
Over that many years.
Yeah.
So actually, when I'm trying to distract myself from the household task that I'm doing by listening to music and all that, I feel I'm not efficient. I don't know. Somehow, I totally feel different about this.
Okay.
I will also go.
Being efficient is your passion. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Padmaja.
Yeah, I think I will also agree, what Sneha is saying. Even if it is a mundane job, if it is needed, I go only with two concepts, whether it is required or not. If it is required, then you please put full involvement. If you don't put involvement, then just come out of it. Then don't do it. Okay, I go just only with that thing. So that's what Nirmala ji was telling. Don't complain and do the job. So I think that complaining will not work. You involve in it and then do it, it works. The other day I was in the stadium and my son was playing there. So a small boy just, fell down. He had a scratch. He was playing on the swing or something. Okay. And he was just crying a lot. It was a small scratch. The whole, a lot of people came over there. So I generally carry a cotton and a kind of a Dettol. So I said, Bhagwan, just a minute there. I just applied a little cotton over there and just put a Dettol and a small band-aid. The boy who was crying so much suddenly stopped and smiled, said, wow, it's like all fixed. So I just thought that that is required. You tell him, no, nothing will happen. He was not keeping quiet. He was crying as if something as big has happened to him.
Correct.
So I think attention is required in every task, even if it is mundane or not, is what I feel. This is my way of thinking.
Yeah, correct. Attention is required, but like some jobs, I think you can, automatically you do so many jobs, right? They don't require so much attention.
Yogasu karma kaushalam, they say. When I start learning bicycling, when I start learning cooking, start driving, that time 24 hours concentration is required. Once I become expert in it, then things can automatically happen. I can cook a meal without, getting flustered.
Yes, exactly.
Because over 45 years of cooking, I have perfected. That is kaushalam.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
And whenever you see an expert do a thing, expert painter paint, a singer sing, it looks as though assault they are doing, man. How can, oh my God, their tone is going up and down, just trapezing up and down. How beautiful they do it.
Yeah.
For us, it doesn't even raise. It falls very badly. So, you can never compare yourself with an expert, because an expert has reached a perfection level. So, he is doing it beautifully.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, that's what, what is my motivation? I think it's different for different people. Like Padmaja and Sneha spelled out that perfection is very important. For me, getting the work done is more important. So it depends, I guess, some works don't really need perfection per se. Yeah, it depends. I think it's very individual. I don't know if perfection is indeed what is required.
You are doing that Bhagavadgita thing. Can you say perfection is not required? Perfection is required.
No,
certain places,
the best of my ability I will do. What is perfection? It's very subjective, right? How can you judge what is perfect, what is not perfect?
Because you have the passion.
In your mind.
No, because you have the passion, it will be perfect.
Illappa, that you're very kind of you. But what I'm saying is that perfection is my own subjective standard, right? Yes or no? It depends. It's my definition of what I think is perfect, isn't it? Someone else might listen to the class and say, what bakwas is happening here? So it's all very subjective. So whatever task I'm doing,
it is subjective, you say, but once you have the passion for anything, believe it or not, it will be acclaimed as the best.
Correct. That is fine, Nirmala. We have agreed that we need to have a passion, but how to convert every mundane thing into passion is the problem.
Everyone has a different yardstick to measure. Like how Sneha and Padmaja ji were saying, perfect. I might have a different yardstick. It's up to us where we are satisfied and happy.
Yeah.
When multitasking job or something like that. Yeah.
No, I don't get into perfection concept, because I think no one is perfect. In my concept, nobody is perfect. Once you say I am perfect, that means that you're still not perfect. You think you're perfect in your own opinion. So my concept is not into perfection, but I prefer doing things with involvement. That's something that you do. If there is a need, do it with involvement, because you are doing something. So just do it with involvement. Forget about liking or not liking. I will not think that moment, this particular task is there, do it with just involvement. That's all.
Excellent.
Whether you have listening to music or you do something else, it's also fine. But this task I am doing with my involvement. Whether perfection or not, I don't look at it.
Okay, got it. So Sneha is passionate about perfection. Padmaja is passionate about involvement. I'm just passionate about getting things done so that I can move on to something which I like more. Yeah, but we all have found a way to do our stuff on a daily basis with least stress, hopefully. Yes or no?
Yes.
I think we are learning. We are getting there.
Yes.
Yeah, we are getting but there is frankly there is sometimes. Yeah, Heli Ramamani. Who's saying?
Yes, Ramamani.
So
Hello.
yeah, tell me.
No, what I have to say is,
Yeah.
as we go on doing the work, naturally we get involvement and passion.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm?
Correct.
Any work,
Mm.
any work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we have to cultivate.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. You have to cultivate.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes we do some work. First time when we take long time. Regularly we do. On the timers, putting a timer, we can finish it earlier. And first time when I'm cooking, I'll be measuring everything, the way I'm putting all salt and all.
Yes.
Regularly I cook with the eye measurement, this much salt, chili powder, everything comes with perfection or something like that.
Yeah. Right.
Bicycle driving, cooking, car driving, all that in the same section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that is yogaha karmasu kaushalam is one is Nirmala said kaushalam is skill. That's the literal meaning. But what Krishna is saying is convert every work that you are doing into yoga. That is the kushalata involved in the work, whether you are doing it perfectly or imperfectly, or whether it is turning out the way it should be done or not. If it is done as a yoga, if it's done as an offering to God, then every work is perfect. That's what he is being said. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam.
To the best of your knowledge.
Best of your knowledge, and just do it as an offering. That's the bottom line. That's what Krishna is saying. Because last week we discussed how the 4 yogas have their own pitfalls. I don't know, Anu wasn't there, right?
I'm aware. I did read about it.
So bhakti yoga will, make you very, I'm very pious, I'm offering to God. That kind of, the ego can come into any type of yoga, so-called yoga you are practicing. But it is not an yoga as long as the ego is involved. That's all. That is the kaushalata in the karma. That convert everything into an offering to Bhagavan or whatever it is. But my question is, what happens if you're an atheist, if you don't believe in God or something? How do you convert into yoga?
The atheists will still do it as a work or duty. They don't get attached. They do not offer it.
I don't know. That always bothers me. See, all this is like we are geared towards the Bhagwan and God and devotion and duty. But what about the atheists? Are they not, qualified to be self-realized or what?
Atheist, 2 types are there. One, they will do it as a social service.
But then what about the ego? I did social service. Somebody is doing social service. Transcend the ego. Is it not required that something higher is getting, making me do this kind of, is it required or not? I don't know.
No, actually, sorry, Purnima, to intervene, but I've seen, I mean, I have a couple of examples that I've seen. I don't even know if I can call them atheists, but they are, they do a lot of social service and they are most understated. Nobody knows about what they are doing.
How nice.
Yeah, one example is my father. I don't know if I can call him an atheist. I don't even know whether he's atheist in the true sense, but he just does not talk about what he's doing. And many times I'm surprised, actually.
Very nice. Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, no, these are the things that come to my mind when I'm reading these things. Okay, how, if an atheist asks me how to do karma yoga, then what will I say? So I was just thinking aloud.
I have a small, quick story I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The one man, he says, Ayo, I'm not able to study, help me out, God. God helps him pass the exam. Then he goes for higher studies. Help me, God helps. I want to get a good job. He gets a wife. He asks for a child. All this has happened. Then as a reward for all that he has received from God, of course, this is not an atheist story. Okay, he says, okay, let me start feeding people. So every day he picks up one person and feeds them. One person comes one day and says, he says, pray to God, and he refuses to pray to God. Then he says, you don't get food. Get out of my house if you don't pray.
Oh.
So then God says, for the last 70 years, he has been an atheist. And I have fed him every meal. One day, I ask him to feed you. Just because he doesn't pray, you sent him out of the house. Huh? What is this, man? One day I left him to you to do the job.
Very nice. Good example. I like it.
And immediately you say, because he didn't pray, get off the house. You made him starve. And at the same way, he goes and gives to beggars money. So one day he says, hey, you have come the second time. Then God pulls him up and asks, how many times have you come back to me? So many times, but I have never questioned you. But this beggar, you're just giving 10 rupees for that because he came second time, you're shouting at him. See? That's what.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but still that question is there. All of you, please think about it and come back with your answers. All this, when an atheist, you want to tell him, just do your duty for duty's sake. Don't expect anything, blah, blah, blah. How are you going to explain it to a person who does not believe in God or whatever? Let's come back with it the next time. And yes, we'll start with the Sthita Prajna. How was the one established in the Sthita Prajna? And we close. Today we can close. Okay.
Thank you.
So that really.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ramamani. I really want to know how we can go about. I will ask Prabhuji also this question. How to, or he might say they will not even come to the Gita. That's also there. No, they will not come to this stage at all. Right?
Because of their vasanas, they don't get, if that's so, they don't come to this. I don't want to take anyone's time. Let's be God.
I know two people. One set of people who will not even talk about it.
Yeah.
Like Sneha's dad. There are another set of people who will only boast about it.
So only the boasting people will have the problem.
Yes.
Boasting people will have the problem. Correct.
They become more egoistic. You know what I did? I did that. I did this. I do that. All that he'll be saying. And he will, pride goes before a fall.
Yeah. Yes. And also one more last thing I want to share before you all quit. There are some chores that I love to do, like this, not chores, some things that there is this thing called passion, right? I mean, you cannot, I don't see the same passion in all the work that I do. That is a problem, if you want to call it a problem. So is that also okay or not okay is what I sometimes wonder. That's what.
No, the more you attend this class, believe it or not, you'll fall in line very soon.
Fall in line with the infinite, right?
Yes, because you are concentrated on the infinite, the routine goes on.
Thank you.
That's what I said.
Better. The routine
goes on. Just like Ambarisha concentrated on praying to God. But he was ruling the kingdom. Who was ruling the kingdom? Vishnu Chakra was ruling the kingdom. So when you surrender yourself totally to God, God takes care of you like a baby. You are on a well-chartered flight. Smoothness
The
will come in the
moment I
right
say
time.
I have to do this and I don't like it, then their life is a problem.
God will come and work for you.
Ah,
God will come in a human form and do all your chores, and you get just involved in
You will be so surprised. You will have such circumstances in which your things will get on so smoothly. For example, this Bhagavad Gita class, I'm telling you, it is such a well-oiled machine which is going on smoothly. Why?
yeah.
Because of our our passion
Yeah.
and
Correct.
grace. And grace. We
Absolutely.
have, all of us, somewhere our Adrishta Punya has fructified.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we have
absolutely.
come to this class.
Yes, absolutely, madam. Very good.
That is why
Yeah.
it is happening.
Correct. See, what I
Yeah.
just, I don't think I'm getting, tell me, Padmaja.
I would just share one, incident. Just my father is also an atheist. He has very clearly says there is no Rama, there is no Krishna, there is nothing. All this is bakwas. You're all doing wasting of your time. Don't get into all this. And he is now 82 years old. Okay. Whenever we do puja, he never comes. He'll be away from it all the way. Even if he comes to temple, it's just because we are calling. Otherwise, he will not prefer to come. Now, at the age of 82, I don't know why, but suddenly I see a 360-degree change kind of thing. So when we do puja, he will come and he'll take the aarti. And he'll also say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, also like kind of thing. Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, he'll say, I don't know why, but still he will say. So I really have, I wonder at the age of 82, how did this change come into him?
Fear of death. Fear of death will change you 360 degrees.
Okay, maybe, God knows.
Maybe. Wonderful. Yeah, this is very
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
That is also an act of God, no?
Yeah.
Very
Hey, in Bhagavad Gita, he says completely, a non-believer, oh, very good, no problem. One incident can change him topsy-turvy. But one who says, I believe, I believe, not really sincerely believing also.
Actually,
that person is very difficult.
Yeah, there's a saying, there's none more rabid than a convert. That is, there's one who is a convert is more passionate. Actually, like Nirmala just said, we are always sitting on the fence. We are neither here nor there. But once you jump from one to the other, you are completely in. Correct. Very true.
The leap of faith is there, and they just dive.
The leap of faith is there. Very true.
Dive into it, and they just.
Also, sometimes he claims that he, hears some kind of music like Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. He'll say, can you hear this? He will be humming it. So I said, he never does that. So I said, why are you humming? He said, that voice, sound is coming. No, I think someone is playing that song. I said, nobody can hear at home. But he claims that he hears it. So I wonder whether he really is hearing. Is it something like, they say that some people hear which others cannot hear. So does he hear that something at this age?
It's playing in his head. You see, he has heard it. He has heard it earlier. Now it's playing in his head.
Now, when he has the fear of death, everything will play. Believe it or not. Okay. When you are afraid, oh my God, so many things happen. Magic will happen.
Magic.
He will become more ardent devotee than all of you put together. Watch out.
Exactly. That's very nice. He's very fortunate, Padmaja, actually.
All your prayers have worked wonders on him.
Yeah. See, that is also one thing. If there is one seeker in the house, one spiritual seeker in the house, it's a blessing to the entire family.
True.
One sannyasi in the house. Yeah. 21 generations get released. 21 generation downwards are blessed.
Yeah. They say 7. This madam has multiplied by 3. Good.
अरे जब बोल ही रहे हो तो नंबर थोड़ा ज्यादा ही बोल दो ना. Vivek Chudamani has said not 21 up and 21 down.
I think 7, no?
No, 21.
Okay. Vachane ka daridrata. while speaking, why do you have to be, why Karpanya when
Yeah,
you're talking?
I just told my children, if I get 1 lakh rupees, yo, mummy, why are you so stingent? $10 million बोलो ना, बोलती हो.
Why
क्यों 1
limit
लाख
your
क्यों
dream?
बोल रही हो?
Correct. I am the infinite, by the way. All of us, let us remember, we are the infinite. there is no limitation. Yeah, but in the material.
Shankaracharya calls us Tattvamasi, 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 Rajan. You are that, you are that, you are that, O king. That's how he says. You know that? You are the king.
I'm the
Because
king.
you are that Brahman.
Yeah, when I start looking for it in the material world, then I had to count my millions, my dollars, my rupees, and everything we have to count. That's the thing. That's why it cannot. All right, then we shall meet next week with the.
I have a request from everybody. Please call each other by names. No G's, please.
No G.
Works for me.
Works for me. I know it's very. Yeah, you have
Because
to remember to add the G. Otherwise, just calling the name is so spontaneous.
Because we have become one with each other. Now we know we are just the Atman. इतना तो करने का है ना minimum.
हाँ, करना है. Yes, we shall do it. All right then.
Thank you.
All, thank you all. Nice.
Feeling very blessed. Thank you.
Yes.